Hi guys, good afternoon. Thank you for coming to this session. My name is Riandy and I'm a partner engineer based in APAC. As a partner engineer, I help brands and developers build great messenger experiences, leveraging our latest features and best practices. Together with strategic partner managers, we work with brands across the world, advising them on how to build a good messenger experience. So in today's session, I'll be sharing three main things. First, we'll deep dive into various different businesses, what is their use case, what is their business objective, and how they can successfully leverage Messenger to solve their business objective. We'll also deep dive into how users or businesses can leverage Messenger to re-engage their customers. This came out to be a commonly asked questions from brands and developers on what is the proper way to actually reach out to Messenger users that are in line with our Messenger policy. Lastly, I will also talk upon how data-driven improvements can actually improve your overall Messenger experience and drive better business results. So let's get started to it. So first use case came from Taiwan. So Audi is a German automobile company that specializes in producing luxury vehicles. Audi has a business objective to automate appointment booking and provide 24/7 customer service. Traditionally, Audi customers had to actually call the phone hotline to make an appointment for test drive and also servicing appointments. As user grows for Audi, that process itself is no longer scalable. And therefore, Audi looks at Messenger as a way to scale and provide great customer service for their users. Audi created a Messenger experience called Audi Mobile Assistant. It is a messenger experience that allows users to book various types of service appointment, test drive appointments, and even search for any pre-owned Audis that are available based on certain criteria that are available. With this messenger experience, Audi customers can easily schedule an appointment anytime they want, change an appointment without having to get in touch with a human agent via a phone support. In order to create this experience, Audi leverages several best practices that we have. They make sure that the experience itself is interactive, leveraging our quick replies and also several of our templates to make sure that the customer experience itself is actually as smooth as possible. They also leveraged our click-to-messenger ads, which is a way for you to drive users to try out your messenger experience that you built. Because building is just one part, right? I mean, after you have the experience, you need to make sure that your customers, your users actually know that you have a new experience. And one way to drive users to this new experience is to run a click-to-messenger ads. That is the simplest and easiest way for you to drive customers to try out your new experience. And they also leverage the ref parameter, which is a way to pass in custom parameters inside the m.mailing that allows users to actually see a more personalized experience when they actually came out from various different entry points. In return, Audi actually see quite a significant improvement or results from the campaign itself. 42% of the leads that are generated via Messenger actually leads to qualifying customers that are eligible to purchase new Audi cars. They also see a significant drop in the cost per lead up to the point of 30%. And the overall Messenger booking actually have a significant result of 21% more as compared to their traditional phone-based reservation. This shows how Messenger can be used to leverage and improve your customer base and simplify a lot of things. The next use case came from Australia, TaxBot. When we talk about taxes, fun, simple, and easy aren't usually the way that people use to describe taxes. So TaxBot want to revolutionize and change this behavior because in Australia itself, it is a pretty messenger country. Like almost everyone uses Messenger. And as younger Australians, they are very familiar with the way on how to communicate and do things via messaging. And TaxBot want to leverage this capability to make sure that they provide an easy way for customers or Australian users to actually file their taxes in as short as 5 to 10 minutes. So TaxBot has several features to allow and streamline this process itself. It actually directly connects to the Australian taxation offices to process the information to make sure that the information is actually processed and handled in a secure way. It also has a live agent support via handover protocol. As we all know that Messenger is not just an automated experience. In a lot of scenarios, not all things can be automated. And TaxBot realized that. Hence, they actually use our handover protocol, which is a way to transfer the conversation from one application to the other application and provide a live agent support. So this actually is a very common setup for businesses that want to offer a combination of both automated and live agent support, because not all of the cases can actually be handled automatically. So the fallback should be you are not leaving the user hanging and like your whole experience are broken. So what is a better way is that you direct them to a live agent and hence have their results or questions being answered. They also have the use our Get Started button, which is a way to actually set the expectation to the user, because there are so many messenger experience, right? Just like websites and mobile apps, right? How do you know what to expect when you actually first started to chat with the bot itself, right? So the proper way is, of course, you need to provide some expectation on what is the capability of the experience itself. For me, as a new user, when I first started to try this out, so they leverage the Get Started button, and also it is also important that you actually provide a guided user experience for first-time users. Meaning, when I first came to your bot, chat with your messenger experience, it is important that you guide me on what is the capabilities, right? Because I might not know what to expect from this new text bot that I just tried, right? So these are the ways to make sure that you actually have a good return from the investment that you make in Messenger. As a result, they actually saw a pretty significant result from the ads campaign that they run. 10% weekly average conversion rate, and a stunning amount of 92% of customer questions were actually answered automatically without any human involvement. And among the tax returns that are being filed, 99% are actually filed automatically without human involvement. The next use case came from Hong Kong. Clarence is a French luxury skincare, cosmetics, and perfume company. Good customer experience is very important for Clarence. And for beauty products, or especially in beauty verticals, it is important that you drive the customers to the store to try out your makeup products, and you have a consultant to help them answer their questions. Then they will convert to your customers, right? It's not so easy to purchase makeup online, because you might want to try, you might want to consult, and things like that. So therefore, Clarence's business objective, apart from simplifying booking experience, is also to increase online to offline conversion. Meaning, the more traffic they can drive to their stores to talk to their beauty advisors, the more revenue that will generate for Clarence. So therefore, that is one way for Clarence to leverage Messenger to do that. The solution for this is to use Clarence Hong Kong Experience. Basically, a Messenger experience that gives the users some notifications whenever there are new product launches. And also the customers can easily book an appointment, to schedule an appointment with any of the beauty advisors across all the Clarence stores in Hong Kong directly via Messenger. So it has the real-time availability, meaning that you don't actually have to call the store, or you don't have to go to the store manually to check whether there are like some free slots available. So you can do that via Messenger, and then when your appointment comes, you just turn out and actually do it in a nice way. If you see just now, during the Messenger session, we announced a few new features. For example, the appointment booking features, right? So those are done in a more native way, because the features are new. Therefore, Clarence itself is leveraging WebView to actually complete that experience. In order to do that, Clarence actually leveraged our extension SDK with WebView. So WebView is actually a very strong component inside Messenger, because there are a lot of experience that can actually be built with using WebView. So for example, we have a bunch of templates that you can use. But if you say, hey, that template doesn't really suit me, I need something else with different design, you can do it with WebView. Like WebView is basically a canvas for you to put whatever HTML content that you are familiar with, hosted in our own website, but then we provide a couple of interesting ways for you to actually pull some information that will be helpful for the users itself. And a key thing to note is that when you leverage WebView, you need to make sure that the experience itself is actually lightweight and fast loading, because users don't like to wait. If your website takes like 10 seconds to load, then that's pretty bad. So if you leverage WebView inside Messenger, what I would suggest is that you actually create a mini version of it without any of the bloated things that your normal website has, and then to make sure that the load time is as fast as possible. As a result, Clarence see a positive uptick in their conversion rate, in their booking conversion rate, and over 15,000 successful bookings via Messenger itself. This shows how Messenger can be used in a variety of different business use cases, and how they can actually be leveraged into your business objective itself. The next use case came from Jumper.ai. So Jumper.ai is a Singapore-based company that specializes in social commerce. They partner with Marvel on their movie launch, the AntMan Movie launch, with a business objective to drive box office sales. So in short, I will show you a short clip on how that experience actually works.
The Bot Office. The universe has never seen anything like this before. With just a hashtag, the most epic cinematography experience just a chat away. The first popcorn API integration into a chatbot helped us get 18 times more engagement on social media. The Bot Office got more than half our fans into the box office, with an 80% re-engagement rate for the Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So for me personally, it's a pretty cool example on how you can actually leverage Facebook Messenger API and combine it with Facebook Graph API into doing something really interactive and cool. Because Facebook Graph API is actually a variety of APIs that you can leverage. And in order to actually do this kind of experience, Jumper.ai leverage our private reply API, which is the ability to start a private conversation for anyone that actually communicated, commented on your page before. And you can actually do some kind of keyword matching. For example, you can actually say, if they actually put this hashtag, I will want to start a private conversation, which is exactly what Marvel is doing. But we see these use cases in two potential ways. First is for customer care. We know that almost all businesses has a Facebook page presence, right? They have a huge user base on their Facebook page. And what happened is that even you don't ask the users to actually comment and complain on your page, they will actually do so. And the way to actually manage that comments or complaints is actually in a private way. So instead of you having your agents actually reply on the comments itself, it will be better if that you actually move that kind of conversation, the customer care type of conversation, into a private conversation. And you don't have to do it manually. So what happens is that you can actually subscribe to the webhook of the post itself. And whenever there are new comments, we will send that notification to you. And you can do a check. You can leverage our Wit.ai to kind of process the comment and think whether that is considered a customer care type of questions. If there is, then you can start a private conversations with a user to resolve that issue. With that, we will see a more positive uptick as compared to, you reply that via the comments itself. And of course, the other use case is a marketing use case, as what I've just shown you before. These are the steps on how you can actually do it. It's actually well documented in our developer documentation, so I will not go through that, but feel free to, search for it and refer to them. So Messenger Experience rely heavily on webhooks. So if you are a Messenger developer, you will know that webhook is actually the heart of the Messenger Experience. If your webhook is broken, then your Messenger Experience will be broken, right? We know that, we heard that from developers. And Messenger webhook errors is actually one of the most commonly seen errors among all Messenger bots that are being built. And therefore, in order to help you debug that, we actually launched this Messenger Webhook debugger tool a couple of months ago to enable developers to easily find and debug webhook issues. So if you actually go to our developer dashboard, which many of you guys will be familiar, if you go to the Messenger settings part, you will see that there's this new button called Show Recent Errors. We just launched that a couple of months ago, so you might not have experienced that. But if you click on that, you can actually see the list of webhook errors that is caused by your app ID, and we actually break that down by pages. So when we send you a notification, hey, your webhook is down, we have disabled your experience, please fix it, then instead of thinking like, what is the error, what is the problem, and then you'll spend so much time digging your server logs, you can actually quickly use this tool and narrow down exactly what is the time, what is the page, and what is the error message. And then you can quickly go to your server logs at that particular point in time and narrow down the problem and fix it and get it right up. Because as I told you before, if webhook is broken, the entire Messenger experience is broken. Therefore, you need to make sure that you have a fast turnaround and a better debugging tool to do that. So, yeah. We also have another session on webhook-related issues. So feel free to join that session if you want to learn more. The session is called Technical Deep Dive into Messenger Automated Experience. The next thing is called re-engagement. Re-engagement is key for brands to connect with their customers. This seems to be a common confusion among developers and brands on what is actually the proper way to re-engage with their Messenger customers. So I will share with you what is the proper way to do it. First, Messenger has a 24+1 policy. So what does 24+1 policy means? It means from the last user interaction, you have the next 24 hours to send unlimited number of messages, and then after that, you can only send one more messages. What it means is that this policy exists so that you don't spam the user, right? You only send meaningful messages, because although we mentioned unlimited number of messages, if you send too many messages and the users feel annoyed, they can actually block your page. And you don't want that, because once they block your page, you will not be able to reach out to them anymore. So the policy is there to protect both the user and the businesses to make sure that the experience itself is not spammy. And the +1 can be used anytime outside the 24 hours period. So it could be a way for you to trigger re-engagement and reach out to your customers again, let's say 2 months later when you have new things to share with them. So this is the way. Next, you can also leverage our message tag. Message tag is a way for you to send non-promotional content outside of the 24+1 policy. Think of it this way: if you run an e-commerce company, you want to send shipping updates, right? It can happen anytime, 3 days from now, right, when the package is ready. So it might be outside of the 24+1 policy. So what you do is that you can leverage our message tag. We have 17 different use cases for that, and you can send a message to a user anytime you want. But it has to be non-promotional, and it has to be one of the supported message tag. The good thing is that we have 17 different use cases, but if you have more use cases, they are not covered within that 17 different use cases. If you go to our developer documentations, there is a way for you to actually submit a request on what you think or what is your need. And if we review it and it's not a promotional use case and it's a valid use case, we'll actually add that as an available tag. And then you can actually use it further to actually send messages to the user. Another important way on why you should invest on Messenger is the sponsored messaging capability. Because we are all familiar with Facebook ads. When you run Facebook ads, you will run some targeting, you create your custom audience and things like that. But what is better about sponsored messaging is that your ability to reach out to customers directly that have communicated with your page before. So instead of general targeting of the users that you think might be your users, you can re-engage the users, send them promotional content of people that have reached out to your businesses before. What is even better is that you can apply the same level of custom audience segmentation, just like what you do on the Facebook ads. For example, among your 1,000 user base, you can say, hey, I only want to send the promotional messages to the female audience because these are the contents that are relevant to that. You can do this kind of level or granularity, which is actually really powerful. The last section is on data-driven improvements. Oftentimes, businesses build Messenger experience without proper measurement. They just think of Messenger like, hey, I just built a Messenger experience, I run it, that's it. So what I know is that how many people actually use the experience, that's it. But that is actually not good enough because oftentimes, just like websites, you need to actually measure and iterate and actually improve the user experience itself. So therefore, the proper way to do it is actually to measure, to iterate, and improve. Because for example, you're running a lead generation campaign, right? We might tell you these are the list of best practices, but it might not apply to all different markets, right? Different markets will have different flow, different type of questions, and things like that. Therefore, it is important for you to actually put proper measurement at important points of your user journey so that you can actually evaluate the results and actually make some improvement to it. The good thing is that we actually provide Facebook Analytics, which is our analytics tool, for free and bound them together with Messenger. So every Messenger experience that you create will be tied together into a Facebook Analytics. We'll provide you some basic analytics, for example, how many new users today, how many new users within the last month, and things like that. But we do not know what kind of things they are doing in the journey itself and what is important to you. Therefore, the proper recommendation is that you need to leverage Facebook Messenger and then send a bunch of custom events that are relevant to your user experience to Facebook Messenger or to any other analytics tool that you are using, which is fine, and then you properly measure that and then improve on it. So that will be the way on how you can actually leverage Messenger to its maximum potential. So we actually have another session that is also talking about Facebook Analytics itself. So feel free to use the F8 app and check out the sessions. So that will be all of my what I have today. So thank you so much for your time. So feel free to reach out to me. So I'll be at the office hours from 3 to 6 p.m. So you can book a one-on-one 15-minute sessions if you have more questions on Messenger, or you can find us at the Messenger booth itself. Thank you.